Alright, now so I done skipped like probably a couple buggies. I gotta get better on catching some of these on video, because I think the last video, the one I was working on, had done and gone, and um, done did another one, and then got another one in here now, working on a roof. Guy already had a roof in there, just wanting to make it louder. I know a lot of people are familiar with that SSV Works, so he had an SSV Works roof. I'm gonna try to still use the SSB Bluetooth, but I'm not using the amp or anything like that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get caught up a little bit on what's going on. I don't even remember exactly what all I got on the last video. I might have to skim through it just to see. I know I got the framework done for my part of my roof, for the equalizer and the mids and highs. So let's head out to the shop and see what we got going on right now. Alright, so this is the one I got here working on right now. It's the SSV Works roof. She's got a standing up right there. He's got a metal panel that goes up on the top. So this is just a bolt-in, not a roof like the last one I had done. It's just a bolt-in, and SSV controller and amp and stuff. Well, it's right here. Here it is. So we decided to leave this because we got the little dome light. He was just familiar with this controller, kind of wants to just leave that controller. That controller is run off of this amplifier here, but you can see all the speaker wires I cut off. I'm not using those. On these SSV setups like this, if I can get it to sit still, there is a line out external amp trigger. So there's a red, white, and black that will form into your RCAs, and then the blue, which is your amp remote. So there's a factory plug for SSV. Found it on Amazon. Just search SSV RCA adapter, and there's a plug that plugs right into this that has two RCAs and your remote wire sticking off of it. So what I'm gonna do, I got this RCA that is running down here. So I have a RCA and a remote wire that's gonna be for the Memphis glove box, just like I put on the last one. We got this guy makes these RCA splitters. This one's a 3 output. I'll show you this other one we got. That one's a 4 output, and it's actually got separate volume knobs. Kind of working with this guy, coming up with different designs on these. We got some builds, like if I ever get done with mine, I'm gonna need, God knows how many outputs. Which if you do, most of the time, the problem we're running in with all these different splitters is these hydro amps. Like even this Memphis one, it's a lot like the DS18 ones that we're used to running. With this one, you got this plug, and you have two options. You could run speaker wire input straight into it. So you got a head unit that's got speaker wire off of it. Now this one I'm working on here, this one, those speaker wires are off of an amp. I probably wouldn't recommend doing it off of an amp, but if you got a head unit, I get a lot of buggies that come in, they have a head unit like this one that crapped out, and they have speaker wires off of it, and you can run speakers off of it. Now I wouldn't recommend running these high powered like these Mojos or any of those pods. Like I had a four-wheeler come in with a set of them pods running on that particular head unit without an amp. not recommended. But say you have a head unit like that with speaker wire outputs, you could splice them straight into here and bypass the whole RCA works, not even have to use RCAs. With this one, I'm running RCAs in, so I'm gonna be plugging this up here. That's gonna be my front and rear outputs here going into this amp, and then I'll have my input from the Bluetooth in the buggy. When I get that adapter, I'll run RCAs into this, and then this other output is to run that RCA that's hanging down for the subwoofer. And then this is what's in the roof. Here's two out of the package. These are the Mojo Pros. Try to turn it around here. Mojo Pro 6.5. They're 125 RMS. So far we've used quite a few of them. They seem to be pretty loud. Fix to put 4 of them in that. These two are actually for these pods. So we get these universal pods. We can get them 6.5, 8, and we can get them any color. We got these 6.5s, and I just cut the circle out of it, and I'm gonna put them Mojos in there because it'll be the same thing that's in here. So total, he's gonna have 8 Mojos, 6 in the cab and 2 in the back, and then of course the glove box subwoofer. But yeah, this is just gonna help here without having to run, daisy chain like 7 sets of RCA splitters, even though we have plenty of them. This just seems like more logical. Plus we gotta test these because we got these from this guy and hadn't put them in nothing yet. Can't really even see through it. It's pretty. I thought for a second it was more of a clear tinted plastic, but it's not. It's black. But it's actually like a little box, and you see the back pops off. But I'm pretty sure he sealed it. A little bit of silicone. But either way, it's gonna be up in the roof. He was talking about making some that were legit waterproof, because a lot of these buggies and stuff, we talking about putting stereo in, talking to them, and they're like, well, I sink my buggy, it needs to be submergible. Like that Blue Ranger over there, I was talking to him about putting an equalizer in the dash, and he was like, yeah, as long as it can go underwater. And been there, done that. I've had my bed up underwater. Snorkel's just out the water, but I ain't really into all that no more. I hadn't really broke nothing and kind of want to keep it that way. You see, I got all this wire in here cleaned up. This is all the SSV wire. This is the plug for the Memphis amp. That's got my power and my ground and my remote wire. And then these are all the SSV plugs. And the way I've got it set up, I use the wiring in the box here. So I got I had it right here. There it is. So this is the plug that comes with that Memphis amp, and it's got all the speaker wires. So what I did is I used these plugs for this, so I can just plug them right in to the wires going to the speakers, and that's the amp plug. So I got this plug, and then when I get that other plug from Amazon, not that one, yeah, this one, no, Oh yeah, it's off of this side. Dumb moment there for a second. Let's see. Yeah, the line out here. So it had a plug plugged into it and a wire, and the wire actually ran up and out the top over there where all the wires come out on the top of the box. And there was just like 8 feet of wire rolled up on top, pinched between this and the roof. I don't know what I did with it, but as far as simplifying, you can get that connector, plug it in right there, and then I got my RCAs straight into the amp that I'm putting in there with it. But just little things to try to clean it up some, make it a lot neater install. So I already got, kind of see the wrap of wires I got coming down. I ran down the power in the ground. You see them there. There's the power in the ground with our DS18 Marine fuse block. And then it continues over here for my RCAs and my remote for my plug box. This stuff right here is absolutely amazing. Compared to this plastic stuff, I have, you see that brown and white box, that's 2 different sizes. That's huge rolls of this plastic stuff. I do use it. Typically, I'll use it for something like this where you won't see it. Here, I was already coming down with it. I didn't really want to change it. I wanted to just keep a solid piece all the way to here. But this stuff is so much better than that plastic loom. You see, I got it rolled. It's really tight. You see the opening? I can't even hardly open it up. You see that? That's the opening. But you see the angle it's at? Like, there's no way a wire's on this stuff. This is factory stuff, so it's pretty solid and stiff. But typically when you run this plastic wire loom, especially if you get almost to capacity of the loom and you have like little wires like this that'll just pop out in certain places, especially in a turn, you wrap this stuff up really tight like this. It's like, this is not a wrap, this is a loom. I'm gonna show you. And there's a particular way that once you Tech Flex split construction self-wrapping sleeve, this stuff is well worth the money. All right, see, it opens up like a plastic one, but you can see you can get a lot in there because it opens up pretty good, but it rolls back in itself. So if you can see here where it goes under, if once you get your wires in there, you basically push that in really tight and start twisting it, and as you twist it, it just tightens up even more and more and more. And by the time you get it all twisted, like you can see the edge, the opening, you see how it's not twisted, it's straight. Once you get your wires in there, you start twisting it and it gets really tight and it holds. I mean, it's really solid. You ain't got to worry about a wire just popping out on you. That was my biggest thing. You see, I use this plastic stuff like on that connector. I put a little bit here. I ran a little bit just to kind of keep all them wires together because I hate just a rat's nest of wire. But you can just see how good how it's twisted, and then it's really tight. Like, you don't, even in that turn, you won't ever have to worry about a wire popping out. Yeah, here you can see those pods, Froghead Industries. All types of universal enclosures, pods, direct fit side-by-side stuff. Like that roof I put on that other razor was a Froghead Industries roof. That enclosure over there, that's Froghead Industries. That's going in the infamous Turbo Who. That buggy's been on YouTube quite a lot. Guy here just bought that. The gentleman that had it on YouTube a lot actually got another buggy. He sold this one after it sat forever. We're redoing it, taking them trailing arms off. He got some brand new trailing arms over there to put on it. We got this Team Loaded custom fiberglass body. You probably won't see another one like this on a trail. You can see all the way through. This is a guy here, just a buddy that had bought this. You see it says Loaded. It's got 8 DS18 8-inch hydros with our flush mount amplifiers in it, which all that was already in there. We got our guy Justin, a welder. He just double plated that top piece, and he's double plating this outside piece for strength, because it actually did, this one did split a little bit, but he's gonna double plate them. See, this one's still just a single, but a lot going on, trying to get things rolling. We got a ride coming up real soon. I'm not sure what all I'm gonna be able to get done on mine. I still gotta get this box out of here. It's just sitting there empty. I got this framework of my roof put together. I gotta get the speaker wires and all pulled through there, and then I'm gonna attach all the wires down to the board before covering this and fiberglassing it. With the temperatures we got, I don't see being able to get some fiberglass done. I got that board I was gonna cut down, and we gotta put the piece up across the back there for all the amps, because I ended up covering it. That piece wasn't gonna work for the amps. I wasn't gonna be able to get no speakers in it. So what I'm gonna end up doing is just building a separate panel for the amps, but I got to get something in here for now for coming up Party on the Pines. Party in the Pines, I believe, is our first ride coming up. But that clover box there is going in Turbo Who, and then across the back we're going to take that box with the 2 speakers out, take the pods off because they're shot, but then across the back above that seatbelt mount bar, we're going to be putting 4 of these. We're getting a enclosure that's going to stretch across the back and put 4 of these in it, which are hydro Memphis. Which kind of cool how they with the DS18 you got to buy, which you can't even get hydro in 6x9s, but even the 6.5s and 8s and all that, you got to buy either black or white or carbon fiber. With the Memphis hydros, they actually come with a white and a black grill in the box. So if you need a white grill, or you want a black grill, or if you end up changing your buggy up some and you want to change your grill, that is one good thing about those. The fact that you can change the grill kind of makes them a little more universal. But yeah, I got these here. I'm fixing to cut these holes for these Mojos, putting 2 of these in it. And I'm gonna try to get this done, try to get that buggy finished up. Hopefully that Memphis sub box will be here today or tomorrow, hopefully. Oh, and the other ones we got, that's buddy Alex's golf cart that we take to shows a lot. He's got some speakers on it, and then it's his wife's four-wheeler over there. We're just gonna put a little bigger tires on it, and realized the bearings were shot, so it changed the bearings, and now he's waiting on the axles because one of the axles was broke. But I got to get this buggy wrapped up on the stereo stuff, because he just brought it in with all of the suspension and stuff hand tight, because he just put this lift on. So I got to get my part done so the guys over here can get his suspension all straightened up and can see his tires leaning. They got to get all that straightened up. Just everything's adjustable with them hinds, so we got to get him wrapped up because we're getting down to the wire with the first ride of the year coming up real soon. So I'm about to get busy on this, get these speakers in, because holy shit, I do believe we got to have him ready by the next ride coming up. I'm gonna say I gotta get this in there, wait on that enclosure, put them 6x9s in there, and I do believe I'm gonna build a subwoofer box, put a sub in the back of it. This guy's opting for the glove box. We're doing the glove box in this one. I think we're just gonna build one for the back of that other one, but we'll try to get some more of that. Maybe try to add to this video, get a little more footage later on this afternoon, kind of get some more progress going, and let you see this loaded up with some speakers in it and whatnot. Might try to do a little bit on getting some speaker wires put in mine. I gotta go meet a guy putting in some electrical pipe, burying some pipe across under the entrance of the subdivision, so I got a little bit of run around to do, but we'll see what we can get done here while we got a chance. I'll holler back at you. All right, real quick, about to call it a day here. Got this buggy here behind me done. Got the Memphis in there. Got 6 Mojo Pros and 2 tweeters, and then we got the 2 Mojo Pros and these pods on the back. Turned out pretty good. It's pretty loud. And we got the Memphis glove box replacement sub. Pops right in under the dash. It's pretty cool. Overall, it sounds pretty good. So kind of shifted gears on mine. Oh yeah, he's got new tires. Putting those on tomorrow. So yeah, so I was gonna put this piece I had up here in the roof. I tore it apart. I decided I'm going back to my thought of I don't want anything in the inside. I liked it when I had the pods back here, and then I had that on the back and the sub, and it was nice and loud. I could turn it all the way up and be in the cab and be just fine. So instead of putting the fiberglass up in the roof, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the bedsides. Go ahead and get it done. Instead of doing the 4s in the bedsides, I'm gonna be running 2 6.5-inch Pros mid-range loudspeakers on the outsides, and then the 2 inside, I'll be running these tweeters. So I have 4 tweeters total, and then 4 6.5s total. But that's what's going on with that. I'm gonna try to get it done here in next week or so. Temperature tomorrow might actually be good to put resin on that tomorrow, so we'll see how that turns out. But this guy's all done and ready finally. These are just those universal pods, and then just put whatever speakers we want in them. The only thing with these is these Pros don't have tweeters. They're just a mid-range loudspeaker, so I kind of think maybe going with a speaker with a tweeter in the middle better for a pod, because then you get more of a full range sound and not just straight mids, and that also makes it a little bit louder. And that other roof I just did before this one had some bigger tweeters. See, these are just some smaller tweeters. So they, to have 8 6.5 mojos, probably not enough highs, but it does sound good. It's a pretty good setup. We can always kind of tweak it here and there later. I just like that it turned out pretty good. The fact that he wanted to keep that SSV Works roof and just load it with the Memphis. I got a little connector, so I was able to come off of the output on that SSV controller with RCAs, and now there's an amplifier sitting up inside the roof there that's powering all the speakers instead of using that SSV amp. We got a whole nother amp in there, and then of course the glove box thing is that sub's got a amp for itself. You just run power to it, get your remote, turn on your remote wire, and there we go. See the port? You see the Memphis sub up in there. So there's a plug that comes with the kit that you can put in that hole to cover it up when you're spraying in here, washing it and stuff. You can plug that hole, which is pretty cool because you're gonna get mud in there a lot of times. A lot of people will have mud on the inside. You just need to get up in here and spray the floor out, see how dirty it is. Just put that plug in there and not have to worry about it. But yeah, this one's it's done on this side of the shop. Now it's fixed to move to the other side of the shop, get these tires swapped over, get the suspension all dialed in. Everything's just barely tighter than finger tight. Gotta get the tires aligned and all that kind of stuff and get it buttoned up and be ready to ride. Try and get all this stuff done before Party in the Pines. So hopefully mine will be done. I'll have that fiberglassed and ready to rock and roll by then. Hopefully that'll be done by this weekend. But either way, this guy's done. He's ready to rock and roll. Get the next one in here. We had that white buggy that was sitting over here. We got I already got a box designed to put it in it, a 4th order box. Got this guy's amp. He's got 2 of the flush mount amps up in there for all them 8s, and I got his amp readjusted a little bit. We're gonna run it for now, and after Warrior Creek we're gonna take those pods off and put some different pods on it, because one of the tweeters ain't working in one of those pods. But this is what's going, of course, in that white buggy. So that'll be probably one of the next ones in here. But anyways, it's just a little update. Finish up, get this video posted. Little clip from the other day, and then this part here. But just want to show this one done. Memphis looked pretty good. All right, so till the next build.